Welcome back to the channel, and buckle up, because today's topic is explosive. Home Office Minister Robert Jenrick has just made a series of jaw-dropping claims. Terrorists are entering the UK through illegal channel crossings, and what's worse, Labour is in denial. This isn't just about immigration anymore, it's about Britain's safety being put at risk, and Labour's failure to acknowledge the growing threat is alarming. But that's not all. Stick around, because we're diving deeper into how Labour's economic policies are destroying another critical part of British culture, our beloved pubs. Pubs aren't just places to grab a pint, they're community hubs, and their slow disappearance is emblematic of Labour's economic mismanagement. You won't want to miss this breakdown. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Robert Jenrick's bombshell statement has sent shockwaves through the political landscape. According to him, dozens of known terror suspects have entered the UK in small boats, crossing the channel right under our noses. These aren't just any migrants. Jenrick claims these individuals are on watch lists for their ties to groups like Islamic State and Al-Qaeda. In his words, "These are people our security services identified as known threats to our communities, with links to groups that have carried out horrific attacks across the world." This paints a terrifying picture. Terrorists, with established ties to dangerous organisations, are managing to waltz right into the UK with alarming ease. Jenrick's revelations cast a spotlight on how broken the UK's immigration system has become, and it raises a critical question: how did we let it get this bad? Jenrick revealed that, in the year before he took up the post of Immigration Minister, over a dozen terror suspects had already crossed the channel undetected. Fast forward to today, and that figure has skyrocketed. The numbers paint a grim reality. Since 2021, the situation has spiraled out of control. Even more worrying is Jenrick's assertion that intelligence agencies are struggling to track many of these individuals once they've entered the UK. Imagine the consequences if even a handful of these people manage to evade the system entirely and integrate into our communities undetected. What's even more shocking, it's not just terrorists we need to worry about. Jenrick pointed out that around 1,000 migrants who arrived via small boats in 2022 and 2023 have been linked to criminality. We're not just talking about petty crime here. Some have been linked to organised crime syndicates and violent gangs. This revelation should set off alarm bells for anyone concerned about national security and public safety. Labour's response? Predictably, they're in denial. Despite Jenrick's alarming claims, Labour has downplayed the situation, with senior figures insisting the government is exaggerating the threat. They argue that Jenrick's numbers don't add up, and they continue to promote the narrative that the migration crisis is under control. But is it? The public is left to decide who to believe: a Home Office minister with access to intelligence briefings, or a Labour Party that has consistently pushed for more lenient immigration policies. For many, the answer is clear. Labour's refusal to face reality is putting Britain's safety at risk. The broader issue here is Labour's long-standing support for more open borders. Their push for more relaxed migration policies might come from a place of compassion, but it's a dangerously naive stance. With the UK's current immigration system in chaos, the government can't even guarantee the safety of the people crossing the channel. How much longer can we afford to gamble with our national security? What's even more infuriating is the hypocrisy. Politicians who advocate for open borders live in secure, protected communities, far removed from the day-to-day realities faced by ordinary citizens. Jenrick himself highlighted this contradiction when he pointed out that MPs have been banned from hiring foreign interns for fear that they could be spies. Yet the public is expected to live side by side with migrants of unknown background. It's a glaring double standard. And when the public raises concerns, they're immediately smeared as far-right. Labour can't bear to acknowledge the damage their policies are doing, so they resort to name-calling and deflection, vilifying those who dare to voice legitimate worries. The hypocrisy reaches new heights when we look at Labour's recent conference. At an event celebrating mass migration, it was so oversubscribed that they had to enforce a one-in, one-out policy. The irony is staggering. Labour is all for open borders until it's their own comfort being compromised. The bottom line: this isn't just about politics anymore, it's about the safety and future of the UK. Labour's refusal to confront the real dangers posed by unchecked immigration is making the country less secure, and we're all paying the price. Let's pivot to another critical issue affecting the heart of British culture, our pubs. Once the cornerstone of community life, British pubs are closing at an unprecedented rate, and it's Labour's economic policies that are helping to speed up their demise. Recent data shows that around 50 pubs are shutting their doors every month in England and Wales. In the first half of 2024 alone, hundreds of pubs have been forced to close down for good. These aren't just businesses, they're community institutions. The toll this is taking on British society is immeasurable, especially in rural areas where pubs are often the only social hub for miles. One vocal critic of Labour's economic policies, Adam Brooks, a well-known pub landlord, hasn't held back. In a fiery interview, Brooks accused Labour of utter hypocrisy when it comes to supporting small businesses like pubs. According to Brooks, taxes on alcohol are so high that 1/3 of the cost of a pint goes straight to HMRC. For pub owners, this means they're not just selling drinks, they're essentially collecting taxes for the government. It's no wonder so many landlords are choosing to close up shop rather than face the uphill battle of staying afloat. The situation is dire for new and existing pub owners alike. Younger entrepreneurs who might be interested in taking over a pub are increasingly put off by the overwhelming tax burden, rising energy bills, and skyrocketing supplier costs. Brooks explains that many young people prefer events or health-conscious activities over a night at the pub. This cultural shift, combined with the financial pressure of running a pub, is leading to their rapid disappearance. Labour's failure to support these businesses isn't just an economic issue, it's a cultural one. Pubs are integral to the fabric of British life, and their closure represents the loss of something much deeper. Yet Labour seems unwilling or unable to offer any meaningful solutions. When asked what could be done to save pubs, Brooks offered a simple solution: cut VAT for pubs. It's a common-sense approach that could offer struggling landlords some breathing room. But will Labour take action? Given their track record, it's unlikely. Labour's leadership seems too preoccupied with appeasing their progressive base to consider practical solutions for the communities they claim to represent. The UK is facing a critical moment, with issues of national security and cultural identity hanging in the balance. On one hand, we have the growing threat of terrorists entering the country through illegal crossings, something Labour is dangerously downplaying. On the other, we're witnessing the slow death of one of Britain's most iconic institutions, the local pub, all under the weight of Labour's economic policies. Robert Jenrick's revelations about the security risks posed by unchecked immigration should be a wake-up call for the entire country. The stakes have never been higher. Britain's future is on the line, and Labour's refusal to take responsibility for these mounting crises is not just reckless, it's disgraceful. As long as they continue to push for policies that prioritise political correctness over common sense, the UK will remain at risk. The question is, how long can we afford to ignore the reality of what's happening? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. This is just the beginning, and there's plenty more to come.